Whenever you're ready. Now, hi, I'm Dan Fazio with GI Jobs Magazine, and I'm talking today with Fatima Jaghoori, a student veteran at Kansas State University, who was one of 25 veterans named to the 2021 Student Veteran Leadership Awards list, which will be published in the August issue of GI Jobs. Don't miss it. Thanks for joining us today, Fatima, and congratulations.
Thank you for having me, Dan. Glad to be here.
What was your reaction when you learned that you were one of only 25 students nationwide who were selected for this award?
Absolutely shocked. I'm still in shock about it because I'm like, oh, I don't think I did anything to deserve this. But I'm super thankful and I'm very grateful to be considered to even be one of because I know some of the other student veterans leaderships that are out there, they're above and beyond amazing. So I can't, I'm just glad to be considered to be the same. So I'm happy about that.
Well, you're certainly more than deserving for this award. Looking over the activities that you've led both at Kansas State, across the state of Kansas, and even in Washington, D.C. are impressive, to say the least. What inspires you to devote so much of your time to serving others?
I originally didn't have any plans of joining any organizations, but when I came into K-State and I was introduced to the Student Veterans Association, the bigger chapter is Student Veterans of America, I was completely floored regarding how many veterans are just trying to be a part of something bigger than them. And I think that definitely motivated me and to be a part of community organizations like the Flint Hills Veterans Coalition and the MPRA, the 4LE MPRA. Is just it's a big eye opener because I just didn't expect these resources in getting out. I just thought I was like, okay, you're gonna get out, go to school, be a normal person. And after I got introduced to the SVA, I was like, okay, all these people can dedicate their time. I can dedicate my life. We got this. Let's do it. So it's a lot of amazing people that motivated me for it to even try, to be honest.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Did you have any mentors when you arrived on campus?
Yes. Big mentors were Dominic Barnes, who's like has a hand in almost everything.
I believe he's the one who nominated you for this award.
Yeah, I asked him about it later. He was like, of course I nominated you. I was like, I didn't expect this. And I have a good friend, Justin Manford, who's done a lot for the SVA, and just he has genuinely been through and through it with me. As he was the one who stood up our SVA and got as a student veterans, got it as a little student veteran center at K-State. So just kind of watching him in his terms, he's like, you just got to set fire to some things to make some things happen. And he kind of did. So I'm just kind of following in his footsteps to make sure that, we keep it going and we have the most support and resources we need for our veterans at K-State, because we're seriously lacking. And I think with the COVID impact, it's decreased tremendously. So we just need more. Anything I can do to help make it easier for the veterans that are coming in, because I struggled with some things, and I know I watched other veterans struggle with it, and I just don't want that to happen to anybody. It's just not the best thing you could do mentally while you're trying to succeed in academia. It's just not the best. So
yeah. Well, that's so. I mean, besides all your volunteer work, you're also a triple major, which is crazy. How do you juggle so many responsibilities and still, work on three majors simultaneously? How do you stay organized enough to do that?
I actually don't stay organized at all. I'm joking. It's a lot of self-doubt initially, because in the Army you're supposed to, in the military you learn to you have to be the best. You have to be the best. You have to try to be the best. And it's a lot of self-doubt, but a lot of support from everybody else that's like, no, you're good, do things on your own time, it's fine, do it and I think that helps, just to have the support and to have the financial help from the GI Bill, and as well as the help that I've had from the SBA and from the MPRA, I think has helped me tremendously. And I have like the best advisor. Actually, Blake is amazing. So she's always like, no, you're doing great. Keep going, you're fine. And I'm just like, okay, I'm doing something right. Somebody's telling me I'm doing this right. And I'm always bugging her. I'm like, can I add this on here? Can I add this certificate? And she's like, if you think you can do it, you can do it. So a lot of good moral support, to be honest.
What ways did the military help you prepare for this, for academic life?
As an NCO, I had a lot of additional duties, and I feel like this is the same thing. To be able to like juggle like your main major is like your main job, and then like your other like separate little things that you're trying to do are just like separate little additional duties that I think we're kind of trained to handle more than the typical person at a time. And I think that really helped. Having to juggle like 5 additional duties while in Alaska really helps with trying to, organize all of this and to make it fix it in my brain, I guess.
That makes a lot of sense. So you've served as president of the K-State Student Veterans Association on campus for 3 years, is that correct?
Since 2009, 19.
19. Okay.
Actually, I was the third in line of succession, to be honest. And I somehow ended up being the president on the last semester. But I had an awesome group. We were an awesome group of 3 towards the end. And then COVID happened. So it was kind of everything shut down, everywhere closed down. And at that point, my only goal was to try to get some sort of to get a resource officer, which is a VSOC, to K-State. And that's been my sole goal. Like that's the only thing I'm kind of concentrating on right now. That's been my motivating factor because I see how impactful it was for KU, how impactful it is for other universities and other SBAs that I've spoken to. So that's been the pushing factor, to be honest. With the support of the SBA, I'm just kind of like, okay, we can get this VSOC, it's fine.
Yeah. Shout out for SVA. Well, what was the biggest challenge? I mean, you led the club through part of a pandemic, at least. What was that like? What was your biggest challenge? Keeping things on track during this very challenging time.
We had a lot of people that, like the other 2 people that were on the team, they kind of withered away. One of them graduated and the other one was like, I just can't handle the workload, which I understand. It's just to kind of connect with people, because after a while, like veterans don't want to be participating in mandatory fun, to be honest. So if there's an event or if you create an event, it just depends on who's going to show up. But because of the pandemic, it was kind of just like, okay, well, now I'm just going to concentrate on more of the admin work instead of being able to like concentrate on group work, because we can't do anything like that. So I think focusing on admin work during COVID, because of all the restrictions that we had, really helped.
Well, speaking of challenges, a lot of student veterans who have never gone to college before their military service are intimidated by the thought of transitioning to a campus culture. What was the hardest part of your transition from the Army?
The hardest part was to just kind of the self-doubt. Am I smart enough for college? Because, as an enlisted person in the military, you kind of think, okay, well, the smart people are going to be officers. They're not going to be enlisted. So I think that narrative is very much changing. But to kind of just to kind of watch everybody else do such an amazing job. But some of the issues that I had on campus was just kind of like dealing with the VA office, dealing with the financial aspect of the GI Bill and how long it takes to process it and all that stuff. That was a huge transitioning issue. I think when I first came to K-State, I didn't get like BH for like 3 months. And then I noticed that was a trend for every student that was coming in. And that was just something I wasn't ready to stand for. I think the financial aspect and then just kind of the self-doubt, because I'm the first female out of my extended family to be attending college and the first one out of my immediate family to be attending college. So I think there's a lot of unfamiliar territory that I'm stepping into, but I think I'll be okay. We've been through worse. That's fine.
Yeah.
Tougher things, that's fine.
Did connecting with other veterans on campus help that, ease that a little bit for you? Getting
Yeah.
involved with the SVA and some of the other veterans?
Yes, I think that's probably the one thing that's just been kind of keeping me going, to be honest. I could have just, done the typical, like, okay, I'm going to do 1 degree and get out and just kind of keep it moving. But with the support of the SBA and everything, it's been much easier, and to watch other veterans be like, oh, wow, okay, there's other veterans that are excited to be at school and they're wanting to do things with, like, that's not just the little thing that's inside of their little circle. But I think I've had a lot of support to help me kind of navigate towards that unfamiliar territory, because there are a lot of veterans that are first generation college graduates, and having the opportunity to have attended the student leadership, like SVA leadership, what is that word? There's a leadership thing that I went to. God dang it. But I went to that and I met so many other veterans that were just ready to do the same thing, and they were all first generation. And just you get see a familiar face and you're just like, okay, they can do it, why can't I? Like, and they have the same support that I do, and they have the same resources that I do. And to watch other veterans in the SBA kind of excel is really the biggest motivating factor for me, to be honest.
So looking back on your own experience, what's your best advice for a service member who's getting ready to pursue a post-military education?
Join the SVA. Get in contact with your veteran community. Like, within that, every little community has some sort of a veteran organization that you can get a part of. You do have to search for it a little bit, and it's not always the American Legion or something. It's always like something else. So for me, it's like the Flint Hills Veterans Coalition. They do so much with the community, and I think that helped me be a part. Helped me feel like I was more a part of the community, to understand that, okay, well, these are also veterans that are trying to do things like the Veterans Day Parade, and they want to do all these things within the community. I think that helped me open my eyes to see my impact that I could make within the community. But the join the SBA if you're ready. If you want to do anything that's bigger than you, I would say absolutely join the SBA. If you feel like you need more resources, join the SBA. They have literally a hand that's just kind of over everything else that you would want to be a part of. If you reach out, like, there will be somebody that's going to reach out back to you. And especially considering how much the military pays for each college is always talking about every college is always talking about how they're military friendly. So hold them accountable for that title that they're claiming to. So if you see someone that's, okay, you are obviously getting paid by the GI Bill, why do you not have one specific officer or one specific representative that's solely working for veterans? Because that's some of these schools can get on this list of, oh, we're military friendly, but when you talk to the actual veterans that are attending, they're like, no, we have the worst issues, we have all these other issues. So it's like, if you want to make it better, you have to force it. And you have to work with the administration, and you need to hold the colleges accountable for the titles they hold.
So you have one more year and you graduate next May. Then what? Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, I hope to be working, hopefully, in helping with marginalized ethnicities, and how, and working towards something to stop Hazara genocide, which I am Hazara, I'm Afghan as well. And I know that's causing a lot of internal conflicts within Afghanistan as well as all throughout the world. And being able to connect with other veterans who were able to see that during their deployment, and they kind of like confirmed it for me. I know Manford, my friend Manford was like, yeah, Hazara genocide is a real thing. And that was kind of like the first thing that helped me connect to him. I was like, oh my gosh, you understand. Like, this is amazing. So I think working with the, global impact organization, I don't know, I hope to be working with the United Nations one day. I'm praying for it every day, to kind of bring more awareness to the Hazara genocide that's happening, that's wiping out thousands of Hazaras on a daily basis.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to add?
I just want to say thank you guys for nominating me, and thank you guys for even considering me. I appreciate it. And that I hope every veteran, every student veteran, every veteran that wants to go into academia checks out the SVA, and you can see how amazing they are. And it's not just like a random little organization that's just going to write you off. They're amazing group of people, and you need more veterans. We need more veterans that are willing to stand up for veterans' rights, because they are the people that are standing up to try to get the GI Bill to be what it is, to help us. They had a huge impact on making the BAH a full BAH last year, despite everybody being virtual. So I think get involved with your organizations. If you're a student veterans, I plead with you, get involved with your student organizations, kind of make yourself known in the campus, and be amazing. Do the best you can, because the military prepared you for all of this, all the multitasking in the world.
Well, thank you so much for taking time today to talk with us. And once again, congratulations. We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks, you too.